conference will now be recorded.
Can we know a little bit about yourself? What is your background? And
Yeah, I'll let you know.
thank you.
Okay. So actually, Valaxy has many trainings, right? So we are starting something with bootcamp right now because the market has many tools. See, the tools are getting added to the market. It's because the tools are solving some problems which existing tools is not able to do. Okay, so that's the reason. So we wanted to upskill everybody here. So we are starting with the boot camps, and these boot camps will be running only on the weekends. So we are starting with Argo CD, but down the line it will be SecOps, it will be GitHub Actions, so many more to come as well. But why we wanted to run boot camps? Because so we already have students who have learned DevOps from Valaxy, but you cannot stay in the same cycle, right? Because the technology and tools keeps changing. So we wanted to upskill everybody. So that's the reason we had started running the boot camps. So is this clear? Okay.
Still
So
some few gaps are there. I don't know for me or for all.
mhm. Sorry, you're not able to hear.
Yeah, some gaps are there.
Okay, okay.
I can't hear.
Is it for everybody?
Able to hear you.
Yeah, I can hear
Oh,
clear.
Okay.
okay, okay, okay. So if you're not able to hear, can you just check from your end then? Okay. So, so first we are starting with the Argo boot camp. We will be having two trainers. One is Chandika, my friend, and myself, Franchni. She'll be joining this session to show the demo. So this is the name of the boot camp. So why you need to learn Argo CD, right? Why are you here to learn Argo CD? So many of you already know Jenkins. So anybody who wants to answer this, so why you want to learn Argo CD? We already have many CI tools, right? Jenkins, TeamCity, for that matter, GitLab CI. There are many tools in the market, but why you should learn Argo CD?
It's for continuous release and continuous deployment.
Okay, but you can do that with Jenkins as well, right?
But it just automatically picks that artifact once that CA completes its build and ready for production.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it is one of the features that Argo CD provides, that
Okay.
you can even do the continuous release with release management, like a
Mm-hmm.
single approval from them. So it will be product. It will be promoted to the production.
Okay. Okay.
Argo
Good.
CD is, yeah, Argo CD sync with the GitHub. So here actually always it is checking the GitHub. When the developer pushes the code, immediately it is going to start. Here manual intervention is not required, so that it is going to start all the activities, build and deploy is going to finish automatically.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So yeah. So whatever you both said, right? It is correct. So in case of traditional Jenkins workflow, what will happen is you have a developer. He will build the code, you will test the code, and once it is tested, you will be dockerizing the image and you will push to any registry, right? And then you will do the deployment. So deployment can be the Helm deployment, or you can still follow any kind of Kubernetes deployment. So this was a workflow with the traditional deployment cycle. But what is a gap here? I'll tell you. So the developer is pushing the code. Suppose you wanted to know which is the release which is running in Kubernetes right now. So how will you do that? You have to run some kubectl commands or Helm list commands to know which release your Kubernetes cluster is having. So it is not in sync with the GitHub, right? So this is the drawback of Jenkins workflow. So nowhere you are maintaining any kind of information about the deployment, release, which is currently running on your Kubernetes cluster. So is everybody with me right now? So the problem what we have with the Jenkins workflow is Jenkins workflow is not going to maintain any information about your history of deployments or any kind of Helm list commands, right? Which is a Helm release which is currently running on Kubernetes. So your Jenkins workflow is
Ranjini,
totally, yeah.
yeah, there is a voice break from your end. Can you please check once?
Uh, is it for everybody?
I was able to hear properly, Rajni.
Even for
Raise
me
your
also, I'm
hand.
able to hear.
I mean, it's okay as well. Yeah.
Once check the network, Ranjini.
Actually, it's good, Bindu.
Okay, it's good for me too.
Okay.
Right, right. There is a voice break, but please do check. Right, continue.
Sure, sure. Yeah. So we were talking about the Jenkins workflow, right? So Jenkins workflow will not be maintaining history of any deployments, or it will not. So if you suddenly wanted to go and look, the only way is you need to run a kubectl command or the helm release command to check which kind of release version which is deployed on your Kubernetes cluster. So this is a major drawback, and this is a problem which is introduced now. Okay, so this is a problem number one which we have with the Jenkins workflow. So whenever we are introducing any problem, some tool has to be introduced to solve that problem. So we'll see Argo CD is a tool we all know, but we wanted to understand how it is going to resolve this problem. Okay, this is a traditional Jenkins workflow. So here we are having a workflow with Argo CD. Okay, so here what happens, if you see the cycle, the developer is pushing to Git. So the build is happening, it is tested, the image is built, and you're doing a push. It is going to the Docker Hub or Docker registry. Okay, so whenever we are creating a Docker image, what happens? We need to update the manifest, right? In the Kubernetes YAML file, we need to update which is the image which we wanted to deploy. So we are updating the image here. So in case of Jenkins, these arrows will be in this point, right? But now if you see, the Argo CD has detected the change in your GitHub repo because there is a manifest update. So what it will do, it will automatically update the Kubernetes cluster with this release. And we will also be having a blue-green deployment where your end users are totally unaware which versions they are looking at. Okay. So this is the workflow with Argo CD, what you're having. Let me explain again here. What is the difference? Until the Docker Hub, it is exactly the same Jenkins traditional workflow what you have. But here, once the Docker is pushed, your manifest file update will automatically happen with the image what you have created. So whenever there is a change in Git, Argo CD will detect that change and deploy that change to your EKS cluster. When it is deploying the change, it has multiple deployment strategies. One is blue-green deployment, so your end users will not know what is a change which has happened on the deployment side. So this is a zero downtime deployment. So any doubts here?
Yeah, I got a question. Say, for example, if we don't want to we push it to the Docker Hub, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to update the manifest file. Do you got any manual intervention there? Say, for example, especially on the production on pre-prod environments. But
Mm-hmm.
for the prod environments, it is fine. We can push it straight away, and it will do the deployment.
Mm-hmm.
For the pre-prod and prod, do you have a manual intervention saying that, okay, do you want to approve it or not, or
Correct. So I'm just explaining the deployment flow, right? But Argo CD has given you a complete control where you can manually go and approve if you wanted that release to be on your EKS cluster. So you have total control on your deployment. If you wanted to promote the build, you can do it automatically or you can do it manually as well. So you have the complete control. We have some switches which we will be have updating in the YAML file. So based on that, your Argo CD will start functioning. For example, I'm turning off a feature called as automatic sync. Okay, so when you turn off here the automatic sync, what Argo CD will do, it will not update your EKS cluster with that release. You have to manually go and click the button saying that sync with the Git, then it will start deploying. So you have the control here as well. So in case of pre-prod and prod, you can take care of this. Does that answer?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So
Any other
here
question?
also, yeah, here also we have to update the manifest file, right? Actually,
Correct. It will be automatically done. Argo CD has a different feature called as Argo Image Updater. So Argo Image Updater is responsible to take care of it.
okay.
Okay. So see, the thing is, in the market, everybody is using Argo CD, right, for deployment. But Argo has other things as well, like Argo workflow. With the help of Argo workflow, you will be able to do the build, test, container build, and push to Docker Hub, right? So the purpose of this boot camp, right? If you say you know Argo CD, you will be able to answer any questions because this is a deep dive course. Uh, and whatever content we have incorporated here, you can compare it with any content on Udemy or any other learning platform. The course content is totally different. Let me share it. It is going to come in the future slides. So, any other questions here? If you're good, we'll go to the next one. Okay. So, when we started learning Argo CD, we need to know two things, right? So, anybody can let me know how deployment happens in Kubernetes, right? What kind of deployment strategy Kubernetes has? Anybody?
Like rolling update and
Okay. Yeah, rolling update is right. One more.
Canary deployment.
Blue-green deployment.
Okay, so blue-green deployment is right, but Kubernetes does not have any kind of canary deployments because it doesn't. Or you don't have any control like how many of your pods should be running the new version or how many of it should be running the older version. Okay, so it has only two kinds of deployment. One is your blue-green deployment. The other one is a rolling update. Okay, so rolling update you all know, right? What will happen is, let me use the board. Okay, in terms of rolling update, what will happen? Okay, okay, fine. So in kind of rolling update, what will happen is you have multiple pods. So one by one, the pods will get replaced, right?
that depends on the strategy, right? Like 30% or how much max
Uh,
availability.
Correct. But here we won't be able to select that as well, right? So you have 5 pods, you think, okay? So the pods will get replaced one by one, okay? So just give me 1 minute. Wait. Okay. So let me use Paint. Okay. So you have 5 pods. Okay. So okay, let's keep it small. We have 3 pods. You're doing a rolling update. Uh, okay. So this all the pods are of V1 version. You're doing a new version V2. So what will happen according to Kubernetes deployment? It will delete this pod. It will come. This pod will come up. It will delete this pod. The new version will come up. So one by one, but you don't have the control like how many pods should have V2, how many pods V1 should have. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, this is a problem with Kubernetes rolling deployment. So let's see another kind of deployment. The other kind of deployment is a blue green deployment. So in case of blue green deployment, what will happen? You need to have a blue environment, so you need to have a blue EKS cluster. Okay, and in case of green, you should also have a green EKS cluster. Only then you can do a zero downtime deployment. What will happen is your version V1 will be running on this EKS cluster. You have a Route 53 entry. Okay. So you will be updating the load balancer ingress, what is created here, to the Route 53 entry. Now you will deploy V2 in a green environment and you will just update the new ingress whatever you get in the Route 53, so that this is totally out. But you need to maintain 2 EKS cluster. Okay, one is a standby cluster and the other one is an active cluster. So the cost of the infrastructure here is too high. So this is a drawback of blue green deployment with the traditional Kubernetes, what it is offering. So this is the second problem. The first problem with the rolling update, you don't have any control how the rolling update happens. You cannot tell out of 3 pods, I just want 1 pod to be running on V2 so that my testers is going to do the validation and then I will release it to the end user. Or you cannot do any kind of end user testing in case of rolling update. Okay, in case of blue green deployment, what is the problem here? You need to maintain 2 EKS cluster. The cost of EKS cluster on the production nodes is too high for you to maintain, and you need to update, right? You need to keep them on the same version if you're using it, if you're not using it. So basically, the cost and the maintenance is too high in case of maintaining a blue green infrastructure for doing a traditional Kubernetes deployment. So both the Kubernetes deployment has a drawback. So now let's see how Argo CD is going to manage this drawback. So before that, we need to understand something called as GitOps. Okay. So we all the developer code is in the Git, right? So all the developer code is in Git. It is a single source of truth. Okay. Whatever. So for example, if you take it, so for example, you have a Kubernetes manifest file. So you have a Kubernetes manifest file. You're storing this manifest file in Git. Okay. Now you are saying three replicas should be running, but somebody did a manual change on the EKS cluster. They edited the manifest file and they said 4 replicas to be running now. There was some issue in production, so they did this change. So, but your Git has 3 replicas. So what it means is Git is a single source of truth. Your EKS cluster, your manual things are not a single source of truth. Okay, whatever is in Git, your EKS cluster should have the same thing. So that is what everybody follows. So that is why we keep all the source code in the Git. So while we are keeping the source code in Git, it is a single source of truth for all the infrastructure and application. So we keep all the infrastructure and application code in the Git. Now, means what we are going to keep is, in case of Kubernetes, it is an YAML file. So the desired state. So how many pods should be running? What is your CPU? What is your memory? Every manifest file is a desired state in Git. So whatever you have in Git, you should have on your EKS cluster. So that is what here it's saying. So all the changes will be tracked and versioned. So if you do an Helm release, it is tracked on your Git. If you make any changes, that is tracked on your Git. Okay. And in case of Git, right, it follows a pull based mechanism. Means, so in case of okay, so now you have a Git. Okay, you have a Git. You have some application here. You have some manifest files. So this is deployed to EKS. You have some tool, for example Jenkins. So we what Jenkins will do, it you have a webhook. That webhook will come and trigger this Jenkins build and it will deploy. So it is a push based. You're pushing all the changes via Jenkins. But what Argo CD will do, instead of Jenkins you have Argo CD. It will keep looking for any changes in your Git. Based on that, it will keep syncing your EKS cluster. So it is a pull based mechanism. It will keep pulling the changes whatever you have on your Git. Okay. So here in the diagram what we saw, so here everything is a push. You create a webhook, everything is pushed to your EKS cluster. But in case of here, if you see this arrow mark is here, Argo CD keeps querying your Git. Is there any change? I will sync my EKS cluster. So we say that Argo CD is a pull based mechanism and other traditional CI/CD tool is push based mechanism. Hence we say that Argo CD is a very good GitOps technology tool which has to be used for modern Kubernetes deployment. So that is the reason we all are here to learn Argo CD. So this, because of the pull-based mechanism, it eases many of the things. So that is called as GitOps, and Argo CD follows the pull-based mechanism. So these are the two things which we have learned in this slide. Any question here?
No, GitOps is a separate tool actually. This is the new GitOps. So we know Git and GitHub or Bitbucket or something. GitOps is it something
So
different?
actually GitOps is a term, okay? Term. Why we are using this term is why they're saying Argo CD is a GitOps tool. Means Argo CD is going to make changes based on your Git. It is a terminology. Okay.
Okay,
So we say Jenkins is a CI/CD tool, right? Like that, Argo CD is a GitOps tool. Means it will work only with the help of Git.
okay,
Okay. So this is not a tool, GitOps. So it is a terminology.
got it, got it.
Yeah. So, I explained two problems with traditional Kubernetes deployment. So in today's demo, you will see how Argo CD is going to solve that two problems. One is a rolling update problem, and the other one is a blue-green deployment problem. So the next thing is why you need to join this Argo CD bootcamp, right? What it is, what are you going to get if you join this Argo CD bootcamp? So before even going to course content, I can tell that if you go to few of the company's job website and search for Argo CD, you will see the requirement for Argo CD. And if you are a person who can migrate their existing deployment to Argo CD, then the company is really in required for you. While I'm going through the course content, also you can take a look. You can open few of the company's career page and check for Argo CD. You will see Argo CD there. Okay. So saying that, let's go to the course content here. Okay. So what we will be studying. So this course is on weekends in the evening from 7 to 8:30. The class will be for 7 with the demo session of 7 to 8:15, and 15 minutes we'll go for the if you have any doubts we'll go through that. So 7 to 8:30 is the session starts. So we have two trainers, like I said, Chandika and myself. I have 15 plus years of experience. Right now I'm working in Trellix as a staff DevOps engineer. So what you will be learning in the first week is, so initially what is the requirement for this is you should be knowing what is a pod, replica set, deployment. You should be knowing what is a cluster IP, node port, load balancer. These are the fundamental requirements for you to know. Then what we'll do is we will introduce what is GitOps. We will, so today I just gave you some heads up, but we will go in detail with the push and pull methods, what is used in GitOps, and we wanted to understand how Argo CD architecture works internally, right? Then we will install Argo CD on a Kubernetes cluster, and then we will see how Argo CD UI looks like and how rollback, how you can give the role based authentication, right? If you have 10 members in your team, how are you going to manage the access? So like I said, if you are the one who is migrating their existing deployment to Argo CD, you have to take care of these things. Then so how are we going to use Argo CD on the CLI? How are you going to use the commands? Okay. And then we will create an application. So we have a guest book application. So we will be creating that guest book application using Helm and Customize as well. So Helm and Customize, with both the tools, we will show you how you can use it with Argo CD. We have sync strategy, like one of them has, I don't want to push this to pre-prod and prod. I wanted it to be manual, so we will see the demo of the sync strategies. And so on the Kubernetes cluster, it is not one application, right? For example, if you take Amazon, it comes with 50 or 60 microservices for just cart product, right? Likewise, we will show how are you going to install the other applications when you have multiple applications, how Argo CD is going to take care of it. After that, this is an important topic, Argo rollouts. So whatever we discussed today, right, blue green deployment or canary deployment will be taken care with the help of Argo rollouts. And with the Argo roll, with Canary as a first deployment for Argo CD, we will see 20% how you release the traffic to the end user, how you do the analysis, and then release 100% traffic to the end user. So this would be the questions, whatever they're discussing in the interview. They might ask you like 50% of traffic only I need to release to the end user. So how are you going to handle this scenario? In that case, you might have to explain this deployment. So we will show you with demo. And we have a blue-green deployment. So we'll also be learning about the blue-green deployment. How are we going to switch the traffic based on we are going to switch the traffic to the new version. And we'll see everything whatever we did with the help of Argo roller dashboard. So we have a dashboard. So I'll be explaining the dashboard, like how many pods, how for those pods how the services are mapped, and for those services how the application set is mapped. So we will be understanding those things. Like I said, in today's session we'll also be learning about Argo workflows. So what is a workflow, right? Like other CI tools, Argo workflow is also capable of doing a CI for your application. So we will do a hands-on demo. First, we'll understand what Argo workflow is, how you can create the CI using Argo workflow. So we will take an application, start building it, testing it, we will package it, and then push to the registry, and then use Argo workflow for all these things. And then we will use Argo CD to deploy this to the EKS cluster. So we'll be doing that. Then we need to also understand, uh, means whenever you have microservices, how the Git looks like, right? How are we going to write the manifest files? Then in today's industry, with the help of GitHub Actions, everybody is doing a CI part, and with the help of Argo CD, they are going to do the deployment. So we will be doing an capstone project here, where we will be building image, build, test, create with the help of GitHub Actions, and then with the help of Argo CD, you will be pushing this. So you'll be understanding the end-to-end workflow, how it is happening in the real time, with the real-time experience. So this model 6 is the most important thing. Whatever you have learned here, you will be implementing with the help of GitHub Actions and Argo CD and doing the deployment. Okay, so now we have other problem, right? So we'll run Argo CD on the dev cluster, but we have many other dev clusters where you don't want to run Argo CD, but you wanted this cluster to be managed by Argo. So how we are going to do that? So we will be seeing a demo on that as well. So one of them asked, are we going to, whenever the new image is created, are we going to go and manually update the file in the GitHub with the new container image? No, we are not going to do that. So we have a tool called as Argo Image Updater. With the help of Argo Image Updater, we will be able to take care of it. So this is the topic which we will be discussing in the boot camp for 3 weeks on Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 8:30. After this, um, we are planning to have a 30-minute session on the interview questions preparation on Arco CD. So we will be taking care of that as well. So any questions in the course content? Anybody here? Any questions on the course content?
So you will show us how to upgrade the one version to other version in Argo CD. For example, at
Yes.
present it is 12.1. So if I
Hmm.
want to go for higher version, then what are the components I have to upgrade it? For example, API server, DEX server, all the servers we have to upgrade, or how we proceed with that.
Yeah, I'll show you. We will be showing that as well. It is included. How we are going to upgrade the Argo version as well. Yeah.
Since it is
So
1 hour
you
15 minutes, so
Mm.
are you going to give us which day you will cover which module, the topics? Like
Uh,
day
so
one, this will be covered.
cover. So whatever you have here, right? We are going to go in the same order. So we'll be sharing this with you today. You go take this, compare it with any Argo CD course which you have in the market right now. Anywhere, you won't be having this content. So everybody is doing only Argo rollouts. That is, they will just install Argo CD on your EKS cluster, and they will show how a sample application deployment. But it will not be helping you when you really wanted to deep dive. So you should be very confident if people are asking the question, right? You just know some headlines how Argo CD is going to work. That is not going to help you. You can tell about the other features as well. So some companies, why do they wanted to use Jenkins when Argo CD, when they have for deployment, when they have Argo CD, they can use the Argo workflow, right? That will still reduce the cost, and it is an open source tool. So you might be in a position to recommend the design, that why don't we follow one tool for CI and CD, right? So this course is going to help you out when you wanted to do a real hands-on, and we will be doing a hands-on here. So we have all the content in the GitHub repo. So we will be following the same GitHub whatever we have here. So based on day 1, day 2, day 3 on the modules. So for example, if you see Argo CD installation, then it is very simple. You just have to follow. First, you need an EKS cluster, right? So if you go to cluster creation, create cluster.md, then you need how to install Terraform, and then how to create an EKS cluster, how to connect to the EKS cluster. So everything, even a person who doesn't know anything, if you're joining this class, you should be able to do. So once you create the cluster, how are you going to install Argo CD? So it is like even a layman should follow this. So we are having things very simple here.
Okay, so this means that before coming to that session one, day one, so we have to install a couple of items well before, so we don't need to waste our time during that session, right?
So the thing is, in the session, we will be executing the command and showing you how it works, explain everything. But you will be having 1 week time for the next session, right? So you need to do a hands-on and then come.
Okay.
Else you won't be in line with what we are explaining. We always recommend you to do hands-on. So there is always a saying, right? I keep talking about pizza which I ate in London, right? Somebody is asking you, how is the pizza which you had in London? So what you will tell, you will tell the same thing what I recited, but you really have not eaten that pizza because you don't even know that taste. So what you will do, you will just keep telling that. So whatever I said 100%, you will tell 50%, but the other person will be able to know that it's not real, right? So what you have to do, if you have really eaten the pizza, the way you start narrating, the person will get to know. So we recommend everybody to do the hands-on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Uh,
Are you
yeah.
going over
Going to
the
through
external
the
I got one
Hello.
question here.
Okay.
So so basically, there are so many prerequisites here. So do you provide all the prerequisites?
Yeah, in the initial class, first 30 minutes, I'll be talking about all these prerequisites.
No, no, not about when you try to implement the ARGO CD, the migration and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you got predefined project is there available for you to so
Yeah,
that we can.
so I'll be showing you how we are going to migrate your Helm deployments to Argo CD. Yes, you
Yeah,
have.
you got a sample project with you, right? So that we can clone your repository and we can play around with it
Yes,
as
correct. Yeah, so we have already done everything and kept it ready. You just have, once you attend the session, you just have to go through this. So
well.
how
Yeah,
are you going? Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. Any other questions?
the secrets, they cover the external secrets. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I'll be covering the excellent secrets here.
Okay, thank you.
I hope you're going to cover the from the security perspective also, right? What all the security features was
The
implemented in the.
role-based authentication will be showing you like I discussed in the start of the session, right? So if there are 10 members in a team, you don't want everybody to have the deployment access. You want some of them to have the viewer access, some of them to have the admin access, right? So those kinds of security aspects we will be discussing.
Okay, okay. What all the security tools was implemented for the Argo CD? For example, Kubernetes, ISO, okay, those kind of security tools was implemented, right? So like this Argo CD, was there any particular tool which is going to monitor the Argo CD like that?
So you wanted to monitor the Argo CD application, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, you will
yeah,
get.
yeah. What is the security was implemented for Argo CD? That is what.
Yeah, so once we do this session, right, you will get more insights. If there is any gaps, we might be able to bridge it. But this course is very much designed after a long time. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
So if there is no question, then let's go with the demo. Is that fine?
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Ishwari,
fine.
are you going to teach multi-cluster deployment,
Yes, we have
like
multi-cluster
single
deployment.
attempt to
Correct.
single
So
attempt to deploy all like
correct, correct. So the thing is, we will be deploying it on dev, right? Then we wanted to promote the same deployment for pre-prod and prod. So we will be learning that as well. So like I said, myself and Chandika, we have one articles on Argo CD on our LinkedIn. You can also go and check that. If no questions, Chandika will be taking care here of the demo. Yeah, we can talk later as well after the demo if you have any other questions. Okay. Yeah, Sadhika, you can take over. Thanks.
Thanks, Ranjini. Hey, hello all. Good evening. I hope your weekends are going fine. Great. Yeah, so I first of all I appreciate each of you for spending time in the weekend to learn something productive. Um, so with that say, I would like to proceed with the demo. After that, like as Ranjini has given the introduction, I'd like to, because we are running out of time, so I will execute the demo. Then we will have the questions taken up. Is that fine?
Chandika, you need to introduce yourself.
Huh. Okay, thanks, Ranjini. So yeah, myself Chandika. So I am currently working as a principal DevOps engineer at Autodesk India Private Limited. I have almost 10 years of experience in cloud and DevOps. I started my journey as a systems engineer and then slowly into cloud and DevOps. So yeah, so apart from my full-time job, I also write blogs in LinkedIn, Medium. I share knowledge a lot of times in LinkedIn, and I used to talk in tech events, etc. Yeah, so that's all about me. Maybe we will have each one of your introduction when we move ahead, like further. Ranjini, I am not able to share my screen. I think Bindu or yourself should give me admin access.
Okay, let me check 1 minute. Chandika, you can try to share now.
Yeah, thanks, Ranjini.
You're able to do that, right?
Yes, yes, I'm able to.
Okay.
Okay. Is my screen visible to all of you? Okay. So actually, I have already created a Kubernetes cluster in AWS, which is EKS cluster, because it takes around 10 minutes. So I just wanted to prevent wasting the time. So I just created the Kubernetes cluster and I downloaded the Kubernetes config file to my local. So now I'll be able to communicate with the cluster from my system through kubectl. So this is a plain Kubernetes cluster. There is no workload so far. If you can see here. So it's a plain Kubernetes cluster. Whatever the cluster components needed, those are only available. So what we are going to do in this demo is I'll just do a diagram here. So what I'm going to show in the demo is right now. So this is a developer who push his code into Git, right? Git repository. So this is their application repo, application Git. So when he does it, he's using the CI tool as GitHub Actions. Every one of you know about GitHub Actions, right? There are so many CI tools available in the market, like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, Circle CI. So many tools are there. So we are going to use GitHub Actions for this demo. And we are going to use the CD tool as ARGO CD here. So here, one thing to notice, Argo CD is a cloud native tool, which is mainly based on Kubernetes. So it can deploy only the Kubernetes resources. Okay, so for example, you wanted to do a deployment into EC2, which is not possible here because whatever you're going to deploy into EC2 are monolithic services. Not container based. Okay, so Argo CD does the deployment for container based applications. Okay, so today we are going to cover this and how Argo CD, as Ranjini explained about the problems in native Kubernetes deployments, right? Like naturally, Kubernetes provides us deployment strategies as one is rolling update, other one is recreate strategy. So rolling update is yeah, Ranjini has given the details about it. So we may go in depth about these in the further classes. So this is what we are going to do today. I have my so this GitHub repo, right? I have that on in my LinkedIn, sorry, in my GitHub repository. So you can, it is a public repo only, so you can fork it from here. I have all the Kubernetes manifest. I have the demo application here, and I have the MD files which you can follow to execute each and every step in at your end, at your system. So with that said, because I'm having a plain Kubernetes cluster, we need to install Argo CD controllers in this cluster, right? So I am following this Argo CD installation MD file. So I am just creating a namespace for Argo CD. And then I am just installing Argo CD in this cluster. So basically, this will install all the controllers and components, objects which are necessary to run Argo CD, because Argo CD has a UI. You might have seen that. I'll show you shortly. So all those components related to for the working of Argo CD, right? All those components are getting installed, deployed in this cluster. So after Argo CD has installed all these components, right, we will need the admin password to access Argo CD UI. So for Linux users, I have given the command to retrieve the admin password. For Windows users, I have given the command because I'm using Windows. I'm just executing this one. So this command has given me the password like this, right? So I want to access the Argo CD UI now. So what I'm doing is I'm just forwarding from my local system so that I can access Argo CD UI through localhost. So right now my Argo CD is working on my port 8080 from the local system. So what I'll do is I'm opening my browser. I'm using localhost 8080. So because I'm not having any SSL certificate, I'm just proceeding this. And this is asking me username and password, right? So I got the password here in this shell like this. I have just copied it and I am logging into Argo CD. Okay. So right now, this Argo CD does not have any application to listen on. Okay. So now we will install one more tool called Argo Rollout. This is tightly integrated with Argo CD. So I'll explain what is rollout, all these things. But first, let me install these components. I have created a namespace for Argo rollouts, and then I'm installing all the components which are required for running this Argo rollouts. Yeah. So with this, we have created Argo rollouts related objects also. So now we can, so here, all these UI related components, right? We'll go through that during the further sessions, in the depth sessions. So right now, I have a guestbook Argo application. So you can create an application through the UI also like this. Going to the new app, you can give whatever fields which are required here. Also, we can create an application through a YAML file. If you can see, this is same as a Kubernetes manifest file, but there you will mention the kind as whatever the pod, service, deployments, all those things, right? But here we are going to mention the kind as application, and the API version is going to be Argo project related API version. So with this, I am creating one application via the CLI itself. So I can do this also, application name, project name, and which repository this application should listen to. Because what Argo CD is doing is it will look for one particular repo which is having the Kubernetes manifest files. And when there is a change or push in the repo, Argo CD will automatically sync the manifest files into the Kubernetes cluster, right? So that's what is the source means. And where it is going to deploy those changes it has detected, that's the destination cluster. So you can either deploy it in the same cluster or to a remote cluster, right? So those things you will have to mention here. So, and additional some options. So the same thing we are mentioning in this application.yaml file. You can see what is the source repository it has to listen to, and what is the destination cluster it has to deploy those files from this repo, and few options related to the sync. For example, somebody asked a question like how you can do the manual judgment, right? Instead of directly deploying after detecting the change, you can do a manual check also here. So that's what you can control through these sync policy option. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to create one application named Guestbook app. And what this application is going to do, it is going to listen to this repo for the main branch, and the path is, because this repo has so many paths, right? So even I will do a change here. This is the application code where application sits here only. So this is Kubernetes manifest. So I want Argo CD to look for this repo, this directory only, this folder only. So I don't want Argo CD not to listen here. Only this repo, because here is where we update the image revisions, replica revisions, all those things, right? So I'm giving the directory like this, and after detecting a change, where it will deploy the change. This is what I mentioned in this YAML file. So what I'm going to do, like a regular Kubernetes apply command, right? You will do apply for this guestbook Argo app.yaml file also. So if I do this, what will happen is Argo CD will create an application in my Argo UI. You can see this is the application and what is the target repo it has to listen, the path and everything, which we have given in this YAML file. So now we'll see what this Kubernetes manifest, right? I have a simple Kubernetes manifest file where I am having a rollout file. I'm not having a deployment file here. If you know about Kubernetes in detail, like Kubernetes, okay, so you know about pods, right, in Kubernetes, and these pods are managed by a service, right? So we are not creating pods individually, we are creating a deployment with replicas is equal to 3. So what what Kubernetes will do is, if there is 3 replica, it will create 3 pods, and the service will do the load balancing across these 3 pods, right? But here is the problem with Kubernetes. What is that is, when you do a revision with the deployment, right? Either you will have to go for this rolling update or you have to go for recreate. What is this rolling update? When you do rolling update, one new pod will be created, one old pod will be deleted. So with this, you will have one new pod, 2 old pod. Then in the next stint, what will happen? It will delete one more old pod. So you will have 2 new pod, one old pod, right? Like this only. And then when you do recreate, it will delete all the existing pods and create a new pods with the new versions, right? So here you, for say, when the QAs are asking, see, you don't do all these things automatically. I want to create one new pod. I want to check the new version, right? New application with this pod. Then you do auto promotion, right? So QAs will be asking like that only. So this is where Argo rollouts comes in place. So what is the advantage in going with Argo rollout? It is providing you canary deployment. It is providing you blue-green deployment. So what is canary deployment and what is blue-green deployment? In canary deployment, so you will mention in the rollout config file, you first roll out only 20% of pods. Wait for some 5 minutes or unlimited time. You will do manual judgment, manual pass here. Then you do 40% rollout. Then wait for 1 hour. Then you do remaining 40%. Then like all over your pod, all your pods will be running with the new version, right? So this is what you are slowly, progressively releasing your versions. When it comes to blue-green pods, so whatever your current pods, right, version 1 pods, those will be running. Parallelly, you will create new version pods like this. You will not delete your old pods. Let the application users will be accessing the old pods only. So after you roll out your new version, you give a domain name or a path to your QAs. Let your QAs access your application with version 2. For example, example.com/v2 or /preview. Like this, you create a URL, give this to your QAs. Let them test everything, all the smoke test, everything, let them test. And then once they give their green signal, then you point your into this new green version. So once you promote your green version, then every users will be redirected to your new versions. So in this case, you are able to control your traffic and the QAs are able to test your changes, right? So this is where rollout comes in place. That's what is the main advantage of Argo rollouts. So I hope this is clear to you. I'll explain this manifest. So we have a rollout here, and then I have two replicas for this rollout, and then I'm having my image like this, right? So for now, what I'm doing is I'm just creating a green image, okay? So I'm editing this to green image. And then I'm giving the strategy as blue-green. So I'm showing the blue-green strategy to you now. So this is the blue-green strategy. What I'm telling, let the present users go for blue version and the preview version, the new version, go for this service. So I can give the QAs with, so I have a ingress resource also. I hope all of you know about ingress. So when somebody visit the path, visit the empty domain, so that those access will go for blue version. And whoever access it with the /preview, then they will be getting the new version without promoting anything. So this is what we are going to see now. Okay. Um, so I have the green, this is my demo image, okay? So what I'll do is I'll do a push in this, with this image to my GitHub repo. Since Argo CD is already listening to my repo, let's see. Give me a minute. Okay, so I have done a push here. So Argo CD is doing a progress here. So you can see this is the present service and this is the new service I have created, right, with the green version. So after the pod with the green version created, let the ingress also. Okay, I need to install the ingress also. One, give me a minute, please. I forgot to install the ingress controller, so I'm just installing it because we have a Kubernetes object called ingress, right? So when we create such component, there should be a controller to listen to this kind of object. So I have created that controller. Okay, so I think ingress will take some time, but if you see, there are two versions. This is revision 1, this is revision 2, and this revision 2 is running with green version. Okay, so let the ingress get created because it will take, because the ingress is a load balancer in AWS, right? So this will take some time uh, to get provisioned. So till that time, I will show the GitHub Actions pipeline also. If you see my repo, there is a guestbook directory. Here is where I am having my application and I'm having a Docker file. So what my GitHub workflow is doing is this is doing the continuous integration part. So what it will do, it will check out my complete branch, and then it will run all the requirements. It will execute all the requirements txt, right? All the required components, libraries, everything it will install in the runner machine. So after that, I am running a Docker build stage here. What this will do with the new revision, I am updating with the main.py file. It will create a Docker image with this step, and it will push the Docker image into Docker Hub. So once it is doing that, I have written one more stage here because we pushed one image with a tag, right? How this tag is going to be, you can see image tag, it is going to update the date, today's date, right? Today's date and the commit hash ID. So that tag should be updated in my manifest file. So how that is done is I'm doing a, here you can see I'm just editing the container image with the new image tag here, and then I'm doing the commit automatically through GitHub Actions itself. So when I do this, um, automatically GitHub Actions pipeline run, and then after GitHub Actions run, it updates the manifest file with the, here you see the manifest file with the new tag. And then once the tag is updated here, Argo CD will look for changes in this file, and then it automatically sync the application here. Let me show a demo directly here. So I have the main.py file, right? Here you can see app color. So I have something called yellow color right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just editing this file to have uh, maybe pink, just updating pink. So we will see whether my application is showing pink color or not. So I'm doing a push to this main branch, right? So automatically GitHub Actions CI takes over. You can see there is a workflow running here, GitHub Actions. Click on this. So it is installing all the dependencies now. So after it install the dependency, it will create the Docker file. Once the Docker file is created and pushed to Docker Hub, it updates the manifest file with the new tag. The Docker image is being created, is being built, and this is the after updating the image tag, right? You can see this is the image tag. Today is November 22, and this is the commit ID. So you can see a new tag created like this, and it is updated in the manifest file also. So it is this manifest file is updated. So now what Argo CD will see, it will see a change, right? So it has seen a change, and that those pods are the revision 3 pods are created now. So let's see if my ingress is created now or not. Yeah, okay. So this is my first version which I deployed here. So what I'll do is so let's see the ingress. Here, if you see the Kubernetes manifest rollout, right? So here we are controlling the rollout, right? How the rollout should be. You can see there is a blue, this is the blue-green strategy. And then when somebody access slash preview, they will be getting the new version. So let's see when the preview, you can see the pink version, which I updated now, right? So the present users, live users will be getting the previous version. And then when I do a rollout with a blue-green strategy, you can see the pink version in slash preview path. So this is what I wrote in my rollout file. You can see the active service being to blue. See, this is just the naming convention, but I updated my application to be pink color, right? So this is what is showing up here. And then when you see the ingress, present version goes to slash path, and the preview version goes to the green version, the new version. So when it will be promoted, I mean, when this is promoted to the live users, right, the new version, so you can see auto promotion enabled, and after how much time it will be it will be pointed to the new version. After 2 minutes of time, automatically red version pointed to the pink version after the QA test. Here you can control everything. You can control auto promotion being false. So after the QAs come back with a green signal, then you can do the auto promotion manually also. So this is how you're releasing the your application in a controlled way. So you can do the rollout without any downtime for nobody, right? So I have just explained a high level flow of how the CI works, how the CD works, how Argo is listening for this repo, right? Without any like authentication, Argo cannot look for this, right? So how Argo is connecting with this repo, all these things we will be explaining in the coming sessions. Any questions?
Yeah, Chandrika. So in installation, sorry, the application installation, right? There is a pod deployment service and in Ingress, right? So those will created the sequentially or like it will create it randomly. First it will create the service or first it will create the pod or like what's the way
Huh.
to create the
Yeah.
Kubernetes resources?
Yeah, okay. So Argo CD has inbuilt mechanism to detect like how the rollouts happen is like how the Kubernetes manifest, you have so many objects, right, in Kubernetes, how it is going to deploy. Argo CD naturally execute it. If you want to do like take over that control also, you have options in Argo CD to deploy. For example, deploy the services first, then do the rollout, and then deploy a namespace. Like this, you can do the control also.
Okay. So
You
you are
have
saying
something called sync policies.
okay. So you are saying Argo CD will naturally detect the things, right? The Kubernetes
Yeah,
resources, right? So that means Argo CD will know. Okay, first I have to create the pods. Then I have to create a namespace. Then pods. Then services. Like that, or
yeah.
like
For the general objects, right? Kubernetes object, for example, pod, deployments, replica sets, services, all these things, Argo CD does that naturally. But if you have a custom controller, custom resources, then that has to be taken care by you. You can tell Argo CD to do in this way. You have sync policies, something called sync policies. There you can write like the order of execution.
okay.
So are the manifest files always in the application repo, or are there other variations where it's maintained
For the
separately?
simplicity here, it is maintained separately. That's the good practice. But for the simplicity, because we don't know like up to what knowledge you are having, right? Each one of you. So for the simplicity, for understanding, I have put everything like this is the application repo. You can maintain a separate repo for maintaining the Kubernetes manifest files also. So that's
So
the good practice.
yeah, in the upcoming demos, is that going to be the implementation shown, or the implementation is
Exactly.
going to be this? Okay.
Exactly, exactly. In that way only it will be shown to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Chandrika, whatever you ran, actually, it is you ran from the GitHub. Actually, all the things work has to done from the Argo CD, right? But I saw that most of the commands you ran it from the GitHub, right? I just want to know this has to perform by Argo CD, right?
I'm not getting your question actually.
Okay,
So traditionally, what is happening is a developer pushes code into Git repo. That's a centralized repository, right? So what
correct,
will happen is that is taken over by the CI tool, like Jenkins, GitHub Actions. That is
correct,
automated. So when that is automated, what is the end result of that CI process is a Docker image, right? So with the
correct.
tag, the new revision. So what will happen? That will be done by the CI tool or Argo image updater. When the Docker Hub is pushed with the new revision, either Argo image updater will detect it. It's according to your process, how you are doing. So in this demo, what I have shown is we are going and updating the manifest with the new revision, right? In the manifest repo. Here is where manifest files lives. So we are updating the new image revision here only. If you use Argo image updater, right, you don't need this step at all. This final step, right? From this to this, you don't
Yeah,
need these steps at all. Simply when you do the Docker push, Argo image updater will look for any changes in your Docker Hub repository. So when Argo image updater detect it, it will like give a call to Argo CD to do a sync. So Argo CD does the sync. Is that clear?
My concern actually, because we are performing a lot of things in the GitHub, right? So in the GitHub, nothing to perform, right? Just we have to push the code to the GitHub. Rest of the thing is going to
That's
take
right.
care by Jenkins,
That's right.
okay, in the previous okay, in the normal method. But
Mm,
here, instead of Jenkins, we are replacing the this one Argo CD, right?
That's right.
But
That's right.
yeah,
So,
that
whatever the initial things which I have done is the installation and everything. Okay. So the final thing I have shown you, right? For example, editing my main.py, you can just assume that your developer is doing a change here. Okay, so that's what I did here. I did a change here by adding ping, and GitHub Actions ran here, right? You can see under this Actions tab. So GitHub Actions ran. It automatically updated my manifest file, and that's where you were able to see here. Argo CD took that update, detected that update, and you are able to see here. Here I have done nothing manually. Everything was done. The previous version which I have shown is I just wanted to show you how Argo CD detects two versions, right? Directly in my when I do a change in here, how Argo CD does that is what I have shown in the previous version. Now, end to end, I have shown from editing this. Is that clear?
Okay, yeah. No, my concern, because it is in the GitHub itself, it was doing a lot of stuff. Actually, it was installing, it was performing some activity. So, but why actually GitHub has to perform? It has to perform by the Argo CD, right? That is what my
No, the work of Argo CD is it is a deployment tool. Okay. So instead of you executing kubectl apply -f, Argo CD is going to take those Kubernetes manifest file and it is going to deploy those files into the destination cluster. That's what is the Argo CD's work. Ranjan, you were able to say anything?
Yeah, so Nagendra, like we discussed in the beginning of this session, right? So Argo CD is a GitOps, right? So it has to keep syncing everything, whatever is in Git. She ran everything using Visual Code. It's because she has cloned the same repo, but her application YAML file, which she showed, it had the Git repo. Can you show that, Chandika?
Okay.
So we will be discussing all these things detailedly. We just wanted to show you a demo how Argo CD is taking care. So if
Okay.
you see line number 126, so everything whatever she explained right from the Argo CD bootcamp repo. So Argo CD is what which is going to deploy this, but we are keeping this in Git and we are saying Argo CD, this is the Git repo where the application files are present. You go and deploy this on the EKS cluster.
Okay.
I don't know, Nagendra, what your question is, but I think if you're asking why so much things was happening in GitHub, I think that's the CI.
That's correct. Actually, so many things. Actually, GitHub actually just we are pushing the code. That's all. After that, actually nothing is going to do. But in the GitHub, I could see lot of installing, creating the Docker image, lot of stuff he was doing in the GitHub itself.
Right.
That's what that was my question.
Yeah, that's the CI part, right? It still has to do the CI first before it can do the CD. And then, like Chandika was saying, if you have the image updater from Argo, you didn't need all those steps that she had, like in the GitHub Actions. You'll only have the CI part. It still has to install the Python packages needed for the Python application to run, and it has to run the PyTest. Those things have to happen no matter what. Argo CD doesn't do all that. That is done by your CI tool. And it just happens to be GitHub Actions here, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thanks.
Okay.
Can we change the one question that can we change the refresh interval that is from 3 minutes to can we decrease to 2 minutes?
Yes, everything is possible. We have some flags to be changed in the manifest file. So if we do that, we can do that. So we'll be seeing in detail about this demo in the coming sessions. This is just to show you how Argo CD is working. But in the next 3 weeks of class, we will deep dive into all these concepts, whatever we shared.
One other thing, whatever you did with the kubectl commands, if you could just put some context of what that is, maybe since so many things were happening in different, which is I understand on the demo, you need to do that. But if you can just put things into context of what you are doing with the kubectl commands, maybe that would, so one of your MD files could be what you did to get it going, like these are the steps we ran to do this. So maybe that'll put things in context for everyone.
Okay, good. So see, what I would say is in simple, right? I'll just keep the things very simple. So you have three tools here, okay? One is your EKS cluster. Okay. So you have a just give me 1 minute. I'll just take black color. Okay. So you have a Git, okay? You have Argo CD, you have a EKS cluster, okay? So forget about the CI part here, okay? We just wanted to keep things simpler. So what is happening is, so all your application YAML file, the deployment file are in Git. Even in traditional Kubernetes deployment, this is what happens, okay? So, but Argo CD needs to know that what are the application Argo CD is taking care, right? So whatever Chandika showed, the line number 126, whatever I referred. So you're telling the Git repo details, like Argo CD Bootcamp 1 2025 is the repo details. So you're saying Argo CD, I have kept all the manifest file in Git, and this is a repo, this is a repo. So whatever the manifest says, how to deploy that information you have in the Git. So Argo CD, what it will do, it will just pull these changes and it will push these changes in the EKS. So simple Argo CD for deployment, this is what it's going to do. Then what she did is she made changes in her local system on the image color, right? Whatever she showed. So the same thing she did a git push. So there is a change in the YAML file. So what Argo CD did, it made changes on your EKS cluster. So we detected the change. There is some change which happened on the Git and it pushed that change to the EKS cluster. So this is what has happened. So is everybody in sync now?
Yeah, everybody's in sync. Is rollouts always being used, or could others use a deployment file? Like your manifest file happens to be the rollout file because you were trying to show the canary and the blue green. But
correct. So
everybody.
Argo rollout, Kubernetes deployment is taken care by Argo rollout. So we need to install Argo rollouts. Only then it will be able to do the canary deployments or the blue-green deployments.
Correct. But is there another variation or an option if let's say we did not use the Argo rollout? Is there could there be another manifest file other than a rollout that you've seen?
No, we don't have anything as such.
Okay, so if you're using Argo, you have to use the rollouts, is what you're saying.
Correct. Yes, for deployment. So any other questions? Okay, if no other questions, Bindu, you wanted to talk. Okay, so if you have any questions with registration, right, please contact Bindu. So she has put this information on the chat, so you can take this and you can call her, okay, for any details. So this recording will also be shared, so you can contact Bindu for that. So if everybody is good, then we will end the session.
Yeah, thank you, both of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.